Hey there, and welcome to the Conversations with Ree podcast, aka the CWR Podcast that airs every Wednesday. This is Season 1 Life Is, and I'm your host, Rita. This is episode 12.
Hi, and welcome back to our very last episode of the year and our mid-season finale. Episode 12 is where we stop and put a pause to this season 1 until we are back in about 3 months. And we took it outdoors, and it's a much casual, relaxed feel, and I don't know if this was such a good idea because there's so much background noise and so many other things happening today, but this is where we are. We're at the Surrey Center at the Spring Noshery, at the Spring Noshery, I think that's how you pronounce it. If you haven't been, I'll just take a snapshot of the space at the end of this video. So I was just going through what was really on my heart as we are ending the year, ending this season, and my mind took me to the article I wrote last year, December 16th. I'm looking at it right now. It's on LinkedIn. The article I wrote on LinkedIn at the very end of last year, and last year was its very own special roller coaster, as was this year. But I remember just having this state of mind. Oh, I got a delivery. Hi, Sasa. Sorry, I was on the blue chair, then I moved and my phone is off. This is everything. Let me 1, 2, 3. Okay. So, do I need to check or it's fine? Okay. Yeah, I think you can. Let me just count. Thank you. 2. Thank you. Thank you so much. Where were we? Here you can remember. So while thinking about this episode and how we were going to end, my mind took me to the place I was at last year this time. Last year I had this, I began this YouTube channel, and I also would write an article every quarter on LinkedIn. So the very last, I keep looking this way, I'm looking at my laptop. The very last article I wrote at the end of the year, which was on December 16th, is what I want us to look at. I haven't even looked at it before this video, so it's going to be very fresh for both of us. But I think I remember the essence of it. I think I was saying last year was quite a roller coaster. So was this year. But I remember just having this strength of mind and strength of spirit from God, like this is encouragement to trust my process, to be in my moment, to do what I'm supposed to do in that moment, no matter what it looks like. And so I wrote this article, and I wanted to read it together, sort of like how we are wrapping up this year and where we are at in comparison to where we were at last year. That's really the thing, and I guess the theme rather of this episode is life is making the moves that have been impressed on you to make, that God is asking you to do it and see what happens. So let's read that article together. I'll leave a link of it in the description. So title is Learning to Make the Move. And there's a picture right at the top that says, in the midst of change, we often discover wings we never knew we had. So it begins. I made my 2021 move. Well, technically, I'm still right in the middle of making and figuring it all out. But yes, in many ways, I did do it. I made my move. And this article is going to serve as a timestamp for future me, and my thoughts in it will hopefully serve as inspiration for you. I find growth such a beautiful mystery. Isn't it fascinating how it can seem like nothing is happening in your life, but as you keep showing up for yourself against all odds and doing what you believe you are to do in the day-to-day, when you eventually stop and take stock of your life, you realize that so much has changed. Everything is different and so much growth has happened in, with, and through you. But then again, ultimately, growth is intentional, and if you're not shifting or growing and find yourself in the same place as say a year ago, it's because you're choosing not to, either by your actions or inactions. A friend recently discussed on her Instagram the reality of how change in the form of loss, e.g. loss of a job, loss of relationship, loss of friendship, etc., can serve as an amazing platform for your rebirth, giving you the chance to rise like a phoenix if you'd give it the chance. And I agree. I have absolutely loved my 2021 experience, including, especially, the part where I lost my job in April, 7 days before my birthday, and just a few months after moving from a more stable job in order to keep growing. And since then, I haven't had a regular income stream, but I say I loved it. Yep, I know this sounds crazy, so you need to hear me all the way out. Quick backstory: I moved jobs mid-2022 because I needed to grow in new ways, and that new opportunity offered me. However, 10 months into the new job, not only was the new opportunity not as great as I thought, but the company made cuts and my new role was part of the collateral damage. However, happening parallel during these shifts in the work front were my own deep internal stretches and awakenings to conversations I had been having with myself year after year, and had always felt not ready and stayed buried under the weight of self-doubt to fully address. One such moment led me to finally making up my mind to beginning this year, 2021, and finding the courage and boldness to take the leap into exploring my creative expressions. One way was going to be by writing one article each quarter here on my LinkedIn, and the second by creating and publishing 2 videos each month on my YouTube channel, IAmArete. I committed myself to publishing 4 LinkedIn articles, and it brings me great joy to report that you are reading the 4th. I also set out to have 24 videos on YouTube by December 2021. I had 26 up by October, keeping in mind I had 0 video vlog editing experience at the start of all of this. My first 2 articles were discussing, and I talk about what we're discussing, or should I just keep going? My first 2 articles were discussions championing customer and employee experience, 2 areas I am extremely passionate about. When it so happened, my second article received feedback from staff at LinkedIn, which was pretty cool. Similarly, my YouTube channel grew from 12 to 100 plus subscribers since its official launch in January. Additionally, 2021 introduced itself to me as my sabbatical year from the 9-to-5 routine I have been on over the last couple of years, attributed to having no job offers or opportunities presenting, following my numerous applications and some interviews. This then saw the birthing of one of my business ideas while in the initial execution phase of it really, and it has not yet fully developed to be called a business just yet, so let us call it a project for now. It's actually changed and morphing since then, but this idea finally came together and to life and has begun to live and breathe all on its own outside my head. If this isn't the toughest nut I have been trying to crack for a couple of years now, that is finally knowing and understanding and doing my A thing, my mission, my calling, my purpose. Granted, I know all this will keep evolving, as I will too, but finally having the surety and clarity of it is an incredible major breakthrough. This was a big win for me. Also, owing to the fact that I was primarily operating from the house with more flexible schedule and seldom experiencing commuter fatigue, I finally began to work out consistently. I need to do better in 2023, but I've definitely improved. Not only that, but to lock it down to a lifestyle routine. Yeah, that's actually true. That I'm actually enjoying and not simply doing as yet another responsibility on my plate. This too I have been attempting to do for a couple of years. No results. The cherry on top is I lost 10 kgs this year. I can now fit into some cute outfits I had outgrown before I got to wear them. Getting to the life on hold over the last 8 months was simply the blessing I didn't even know I desperately needed. I'm eternally grateful for the downtime and the pause of my life that I have gotten during these last couple of months. And it has me pondering why we get so afraid to relinquish control of our lives and trust the direction life is leading us, or rather God is making life lead us and carrying us into, especially if it is to quiet seasons. So this 2021, for the first time in many years, I was more intentional about setting out to do a couple of things, and even when uncomfortable change and disruptions came, I kept going and still did them. But more than that, I became more. There is so much more that I am now that the loss and disruptive change accorded me the privilege to achieve. That may not have been the case had it all not happened. I have grown by leaps and bounds in just a few months. Plus, I have learned so much on the job. I got to stretch and push myself this year, especially in making the YouTube vlogs and videos. I have had many moments where I have second-guessed myself and wanted to opt out, but I kept reminding myself that every level is part of the process, and with each move I am practicing and learning, and each video, even with its many imperfections, was its own kind of ready, and that I was learning the art of failing forward through each experience. You don't have to start with a perfect product because it doesn't exist. A minimum viable product will do, and you keep building up from there. This is what the greats have done. Like we always hear, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. This is not a cliche. Where am I going with all of this? Yeah, where am I going with all of this? My hope is that this article serves as a memoir for me, and for you, for me to always have to look back on and remember how it all began and how far I have come, and to always be reminded to keep my heart open to see opportunities in every challenge that I will face, because those will always keep coming, are always going to keep coming. And for you, to encourage you on your own journey, whatever stage of my journey you relate with presently. Whether it is previous me who for years was always waiting till she was finally ready to make her move, always stuck in an endless analysis paralysis state of inertia, or present me who is finally learning to make her move and on the go as is, who stopped waiting for the perfect moment and decided that her present had everything she needed to start. So true. Or future me now, who has grown into being super comfortable with making the move on the daily. We do 2 videos a week now, and is constantly experiencing all the growth that it comes with. Wow, this is such a beautiful story. I hope I'm bringing it out in all its full essence, because I feel like just being in this public space, I have been a bit uncomfortable, but we're just gonna keep going. Take the moment you are in and make it perfect. Stop waiting for the ever elusive perfect moment, because it doesn't exist in the way you see it in your mind. The perfect moment is the moment you take the action. It is in every now. I was recently talking about this in like 2 episodes ago. It is the moment you call it. Stop waiting to have all your ducks neatly in a row, or until you are ready enough for you to take the next step or do the thing you need to begin, because you will simply stay waiting an indefinite time. Be present in your now and open your eyes to all that it really is, and soon you will realize that as is, it is the perfect backdrop for what comes next. So go forth, make that move, make that job move, that career move, that business move, that personal development move, that move for yourself, that redefining and frightening move you have been putting off forever and yet cannot seem to get it out of your head. Start the application, do the research, have a conversation with someone who believes in you about your ideas, begin that class, buy that equipment, make your proposal, approach your first client, make the next move, whatever it is, just start. Action, did you just move? Oops. Action amplifies talent. You have to make the move, you have to get in the action, you have to do it, you have to start. You may not get it right the first time, but you will get better as you go. Dare to put yourself out there in new and sometimes even scary ways. Explore and discover new and old aspects about yourself and your interests and the world around you. Your narrative is always in motion. There is so much more life in your story that you are yet to still discover. As inspired, go forth, make your every move. Yes, there are times, many times when I'm afraid, but even now actually, but I'm still choosing not to let the fear keep me from my destiny. Plus, I'm going to learn that as you keep conquering the fear, you soon realize that it was just an illusion after all. And honestly, everyone, even the most seemingly confident person, is figuring out as they go. You're not alone. That's a quote by Ali Pauline. The onus is on each one of us to simply go forth as inspired. It has been amazingly rewarding and beautiful knowing myself afresh and redefining my value away from what I do, for whom, or what I have or do not have, but simply because of who I am. Understanding my value from what cannot be taken away from me. Who I am and all that I carry in me, I am worthy and valuable because I am. I feel like we talked about that in episode 11 last week, just saying that we are, our value and our worth and everything starts from God, not from all these things we're trying to get to. But let me finish that because I need to stop interrupting myself. What's more, I am writing this because I am teaching myself to not wait to celebrate the bigger, louder, and more significant wins in the future, whilst undermining the seemingly smaller and less relevant ones. To me, these baby steps of progress are massive and deserve their own podium and applause. So here I am, giving myself a big pat on my back to the beautiful year 2021 became for me, because I redefined the curveballs and made them work in my favor. Once again, I absolutely love my 2021 experience, including the part where I lost my job. Like they say, sometimes what did not work out for you actually worked out for you. For me, the perspective I have chosen to look at life through is that everything, the good and the seemingly bad, is happening for me, not to me. What did I say is happening for me? Not to me. Okay. I don't know what, I think there's a typo there already. And because of this, anyway, it's happening for me, not to me. And because of this, I am living to see myself transform through these would have been questionable situations into an even more amazing me that I didn't even know was still locked up inside of me. And so here I am at the end of 2021 and 2022, rather about to begin 2022, not yet with a full-time work gig, and yet also a freelance business development and customer experience consultant, as well as a creator and host of my own YouTube show, 10 kgs lighter and fitter than I was when the year began, and a whole bunch of other interesting things whose time to share shall come. As I close, I am reminded of the first Instagram post I published published in January 2021, right after my very first video went up. Shaky voice and all, but I did it anyway. It is truly beautiful seeing the hope I had in me then begin to come to life. Here it is below. The article says, to enjoying the space, the journey, the expressions. Here's to being and to boldness and to the beauty in the unveiling. IAmArete. The irony is that in as much as, I was writing a lot. The irony is that in as much as I have all this newfound clarity, I still feel very much lost. I know that the journey ahead is both known and unknown, consists of both smooth and mucky trails. There will be days I am sure of myself and many others where I will sometimes feel like I am probably at square one. But you know what? I am okay with it all. Along my life journey, I have had many moments of feeling lost way too many times. But for the first time, I am not scared. I am no longer afraid because it feels right. Like this is right where I'm supposed to be. Lost is leading me right to my greater destination, to my destiny. P.S. I chickened out of writing this article a couple of times because after it was birthed in my mind as a great idea, it suddenly began to feel too personal for public scrutiny. But yet, this is where all my current reflections were strongly at and kept hovering. So hey, here we are. We made it to the end. I made my move, including this very personal article. What was your 2021 experience like? I asked, and how have you defined it for yourself? So let's switch that to what was your 2022 experience like, and how have you defined it for you? What moves did you make? What wins had you deemed insignificant that you now realize deserve an applause as is? And what moves are you ready to make going forward, even if you didn't think you are ready, because you realize that now is just as good a time to begin as later. So you will just start. You will make the move. And then I say, here's to making a move. See you in 2022. And indeed, I saw you. We're coming to the end of 12 weeks, 3 months of the podcast. We didn't even have a podcast then. And reading this was beautiful. I now even realize why I didn't read it before and cut out anything. So it was actually just very fresh, very raw as well. You know what? I don't even think I'm supposed to add much to this because we've been talking about a lot the last 12 episodes, or 11, 12. And I think this break in the season is for us to just go back, and I actually want to go back and watch those videos and see what else is there that is to push me forward in 2023. But most importantly, last week we kept on saying that life is first at oneness, at communion with God, because that's where the inspiration and the ideas and these moves are supposed to may come from. It's not really what you're going out to achieve. So I'll leave this article, read it, pick what it is that is highlighted for you. For me, there is quite a lot. I'm going to actually read this again. And there's a lot more to share in a more personal way, but I'm doing that in the vlog that comes out this Saturday, because this video goes up today, Wednesday the 28th, and the vlog goes out Saturday the 31st, just before the year ends. And I think that's where my emotional shares are coming out of. But where this podcast is concerned is that fear, we can't live in fear anymore, that we need to take action into what it is that we are to do. we need to take action. I'm so blessed by the steps these last 3 months have been, October, November, December 2022. Mind-blowing. I mean, I'm reading this and I'm just so touched. It's like I'm seeing baby Rita speaking, and then there's me grown. This but what has just happened, and what has just happened is going to back what more is coming in 2023. So we can't keep letting fear and doubt, which is an illusion, and doubt keep coming and interrupting what God is trying to do with us. We can't keep giving up our destiny because of fear. Into 2023 we come. It's a new dawn. There is so much that awaits us. There's so much of our divine potential, our divine being. We've talked about that. We are eternal. We are divine beings. We're not just human beings. There is so much of that we have to tap into, that the time to tap into has come. So we end it here. And by the time we meet in 3 months, when we get into the second part of this season, a lot should have happened. A lot should have changed. A lot more should have happened. So life is making the move. Let's go make the move. See you soon. And until the next one, arise and shine. Bye.
If you wait till you're good before you start, you ain't ever start nothing. Like, you have to suck at something. And you have to get over the fact that you suck, or you'll never learn anything new. And so I think part of this happens with believers a lot, but we want to come out the gate good instead of coming out of the gate with God. We want to come out the gate with our good instead of coming out of the gate with our God. And we started this pod with our God, not with my good. We just stumbled into what he wanted us. He called us to do it. We said yes. We didn't know what the heck it was going to look like. We was like, all right then, homie, I guess we out here. We just started. And the more we've done it, the better we're getting.
Thank you for being here. You can catch new episodes of the CWR Podcast every Wednesday, either by watching via IAmArete on YouTube or listening on your favorite podcast provider. The CWR Podcast is currently available on Spotify and Anchor. This has been Conversations with Ree.